there's a good side and a bad side to everything. Let me tell you something that I've kind of thought about over the years. As we keep getting like smarter and smarter as a civilization, we keep increasing our technology. We're effectively increasing our well-being and making things more convenient. Okay? Pretty soon, a lot of the things that we find laborious right now will be nothing in the future because we'll have robots doing it for us. And here's one thing you got to think about. Whenever there is something that you have to accomplish, like a task that is burdened upon you that you have to complete, when you complete that task, when you meet your goals, that makes you feel good. Okay? It makes you feel good to know that you are accomplishing something. Pretty soon, well, not soon, but at some point in the future, what if there's a time when everything is so convenient that there are very little things that burden us? It's like we are not burdened to do anything. Everything is done for us. What if it's possible that at some point in the future, you wouldn't even have to work? Okay? Let's imagine that hypothetical. If you wouldn't even have to work, then that would take away from this idea that there are things you have to accomplish and you have to meet those goals. It's like, I think, I'm not sure if that would necessarily make us happier if our life was that convenient. I've always thought that would actually be kind of scary because it's like now the only goals that you have are the artificial kind of goals that you make up. The kind of goals like you can say, okay, I'm going to play football and I'm going to be a good football player. Or I'm going to play golf, I want to be a good golf player. Or, I want to see how, I want to travel the world, see how far I can travel. These goals are good, but, at the end of the day, they're not the same kind of goals that you would have if you had no choice in the matter. And those are the kind of goals that really makes us feel good when we accomplish that. And, this sentiment that I'm expressing right here is similar to what I've read by the Unabomber. I don't know if you know who the Unabomber is, but he created something called the Unabomber Manifesto. And I've read through it, about half of it, I think. And he articulates what I am saying a lot better than what I am saying. He actually gives very valid reasons and evidence for why he thinks we as a people, although we think we're going forwards, we're actually going backwards. He thinks that society, like we are better off if we were to live in the jungle, live in a forest without technology. Now, I can't say that I really agree with that because that just seems kind of absurd to me because, in a way I understand what he's saying, but I can't really agree to all that. But I really encourage you guys to read that, the Unabomber Manifesto. There's a good side. There's a good side and a bad side to everything. Okay. Like, no matter what you do, there's always a good side and a bad side to it. Okay. If you think about going to work, this is what I'm talking about. Okay, this is what I'm talking about. Going to work. The bad part about going to work is just the fact that I have to go to work. Okay? I do not want to sit there and do that work. I do not want to have to commit myself to going to work, to driving to work, to worry about having to be late, whatever. But at the same time, the good part is that you may meet people that you otherwise wouldn't meet. You might become friends with people at your work that you otherwise would not become friends with. You may talk to people at your work that you otherwise would not talk to if it wasn't for the fact that you guys meet each other every day at a certain time to do your job. You know, and you know, how do you reconcile the fact that if you had a choice in the matter, if you could get paid the same amount of money that you are right now going to work, you know, if you could get paid without going to work, then you probably wouldn't go to work anymore. Okay? The bad part is that you wouldn't see those people anymore. Now, you could say, okay, I'm going to still keep in touch with them, and that may be true, but there are some people at your work who, you know, you're not going to see them as often as you would right now because of the fact that you have to go to work. So you see, it's a good thing and a bad thing. Okay? You know, I could bring up a lot more examples. I could bring up some extreme examples. I don't know if I want to do that, though. But I think you guys understand what I'm trying to tell you. Okay. I think there's something else I wanted to say. But I think I'm going to leave it at that right now. So, you guys have a good night.